सवैया जोत जीते इन्हीं के प्रसाद, इन्हीं के प्रसाद सुदान करे। अक्ल अवगटारा इन्हीं के प्रसाद, इन्हीं की कृपा पुण्य धाम भरे। इन्हीं के प्रसाद सो विद्यालय, इन्हीं की कृपा सब संत मरे। इन्हीं की कृपा के सजे हम हैं, नहीं पोसो गरीब करोड़ मरे।
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The Khalsa is the 12th Guru, and we, the Sikhs, killed it. Yup, the greatest thing the Gurus gave us, and we nailed it dead. So, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And where do we go from here? First, let us look at the history of the Khalsa, its origins, and its current reduction. So, recently, our sources tell us that Bhai Mohan Singh of Sikh Awareness Society was in New Zealand, where Muslims are beginning to start their grooming gang religious practices like their religion tells them to. No surprises there. They envision making New Zealand the next UK, and naturally, but unfortunately, the Guru Kar committee boomers have buried their heads in each other's ass because, well, bhaichara. So, Bhai Mohan Singh is in a Gurdwara running a workshop, and apparently there are some boomer missionaries standing outside, the usual Harjinder Dilgir Karminder Comrade Tillo worshipping group. So, what happens? Bhai Mohan Singh asks the children and the youth in the workshop, how many gurus do Sikhs have? Some attendees said 10, boomer smile, although many of the Comrade Tillo gang denies this, claiming that even the 10 human Sikh gurus are a Brahmanical creation and we don't know whether they existed or not. A salient example of this stupidity being Devinder Chahal boomer and his ludicrous argument that even the name Nanak is too Vedic and can't be the name of a Sikh guru. Some said 11, including the Guru Granth Sahib in the number. By now, you could hear the boomers beginning to screech, and then only one person said 12 gurus and put everyone out of their misery. Now, Bhai Mohan Singh asked this particular person to explain why there are 12 gurus, and this is the answer. Guru Nanak to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Guru Panth Khalsa Ji. So, really, how many gurus do Sikhs have? And wait a second, we're not supposed to worship their taris. So, what makes us different to the Namtaris and their garbage if you're saying that the 12th Guru is the Guru Panth Khalsa? Here's the thing though, we don't worship the Khalsa. We are not bowing down to every Amrit Tari and praying to them to fulfill our wishes. What the Khalsa is our leader in the same way and form as the Gurus. As Guru Gobind Singh Ji underlines to Bhai Nandalal Ji in the Tanakhanama, there is no point in having the Guru Granth Sahib as the Shabad Guru if there is no one to live and imbibe its Shabad. In simple terms, the Guru Granth Sahib becomes another scripture among countless more if there is no institute consecrated to live it. To show what Gurbani looks like in action, and this is the Guru Panth Khalsa. This is what the Guru Panth Khalsa is intended for, to show what Gurbani looks like in action. It's all in the name. Ratan Singh Pangu explains as much. The Panth Khalsa is the Guru, but here's another caveat. It is only Guru as long as it adheres to the Guru Granth Sahib. It lives and imbibes Gurbani. If it deviates from this, it is not the Guru Panth. It is just another body with the name Khalsa. Now, obviously, we have a whole bunch of New Age conspiratorial clowns who will argue that wait, none of this is in the Guru Granth Sahib. Where is the Khalsa mentioned in the Guru Granth Sahib? Where does it mention that the Gursikh who reaches the Vastha of Gurmukh can become Guru Roop? And does this imply the Gursikh becomes the Guru per se? Oh my god, it's all Brahmanism. These bloody Brahmins, oh my god. Yeah, leaving that shit aside, the distinction is one of common sense and logic. Remember Tadriawala's infatuation with logic, especially when he went the missionary side? Now, obviously, the Karminder Tillo and Neo missionary gang argued that most of the Tankha Nama and these older Hetnamas, ancient Hetnamas, are all Brahmanism and Hindu infiltrations with no literary history that we can track. Or, let's put it simply, that they want to track. Karamjit Kaur Malhotra has written a spectacular book on Sikh Rahatnamas, proving how they all emanate from the 10th Guru's court. So the source, the point of origination, is in Anandpur Sahib under Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Her book is called The 18th Century in Sikh History and bursts apart preemptively many of the myths created around Sikh textual history by many sampradas and missionaries. An important conclusion Malhotra reaches upon is that many of these Rahitnamas are connected with the Gurbani of the Guru Granth Sahib itself. Obviously, there have been interpolations over the years, but with due process, we can sift fact from fiction and see what is associated with Gurmat and what isn't. And this echoes Sant Singh Sekho's argument that after Guru Nanak, all the Gurus derived inspiration and elements for the Sikh praxis from one source alone, Gurbani. And to understand this Gurbani, we need to understand the vernacular of the time. Now, funnily enough, the clown show brigade among Sikhs who are all for this argument rarely apply to these Arhatnamas, choosing instead to dismiss them out of hand as Brahmanism. So, what does this tell us about the Gursikh being Guru Roop in the sense that they show how to live Gurbani? Now, this comes from Bhagat Puran Singh Ji's simplification of the Japji Sahib, and this is the Bhagat Puran Singh of Pingalwada. Manne Tare Tare Gursikh. Based on Gurbani grammar and vernacular, what this means is that obedience to the Guru ensures that the Sikh swims across the worldly ocean, but pushing them along is the Gursikh. The Gursikh is the Sikh whose total adherence to the Guru makes them an earthly embodiment of the Guru, not the Guru in the sense of divine prerogatives and having the right to have others bow to them. No way. That distinction is solely reserved for the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but in the sense that the Gursikh is the leader. Baba Vaisakhi Singh of the Gadri party and Dr. Kartar Singh have a good analogy on this. The Khalsa is like the man who has escaped the well. He now returns to guide others by inspiring them to follow him. This is representative of Guru Nanak's conclusion to the Japji Sahib. Jini naam te aaya gay masakat kaal, Nanak te mukh ujle keti chutti naal. They liberate themselves and countless others. And their characteristics are also enumerated by Guru Arjan. Sant Sahai Jia ka bhav jal taran har, ਸਭ ਤੇ ਉੱਚੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਪਿਆਰ ਜਿਨ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਸੋਇ ਤਰੇ ਸੇ ਸੂੜੇ ਸੇ ਬੀੜ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਿਨ ਬਿਲਹਾਰ ਨੇ ਹਰ ਜਪ ਉਤਰੇ ਤੀਰ. So the meaning of this verse is the seekers of the truth are the true associates of Akal. They assist the mortals still stuck in this unholy worldly quagmire. Know them to be the highest of all, because Guru Nanak reveals that they only love the Naam. Knowing the Naam, they cross over this worldly ocean and transform into valorous warriors. Guru Nanak is a sacrifice unto them. They immerse themselves in the divine presence through jap of the Naam to cross over to the other side. And this particular Shabad of Guru Arjan Dev Ji is on Ang 929 of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So these valorous warriors are the Khalsa. We can see the groundwork for the Khalsa laid right here in the Guru Granth Sahib almost 100 years before the birth of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And it is not a stretch to say that the Khalsa was Guru Nanak's mission from the start that was implemented over 9 successive successions, finally culminating in the joint Guruship of the Guru Granth and Guru Panth. And was the Khalsa supposed to be militant? Yeah, 100% yes. We can already see this trend starting from when Guru Nanak says, Murakh Gand Pave Mumar, to teach a fool a lesson, break his face, to Guru Arjan saying, Se Sure, Se Bir. So, sure, we can find more examples to reinforce this link. The same link that spiritually unclean Hindus, Muslims, Christians, and atheists are wont to deny. But this is the crucial link that explains the existence and dominance of the Khalsa in the Sikh world. Now, obviously, there is a difference between the Sikh who is working towards becoming a Khalsa, and the confirmed Khalsa itself. As an exclusive fraternity of Gursikhs, there are rules for the Khalsa. The ancient Rehetnamas say that Khande ki Pahol, the means of Khalsa initiation, should be administered to who? Only to the extreme and fanatical youth who have a Sikh first, Sikh only, Sikh supremacy, and Panth foremost priority. They live to work and die for the Panth and not themselves, and definitely not non Sikhs. Youth with leadership potential, that's the second category. And the third, youth dedicated to bettering themselves for achieving the Guru's eternal mission or dying in its service. So, one boomer or another will point at Baba Deep Singh Ji and say, "Oh my, but he has a white beard and so do I." Well, the thing is, he was a youth when he took Amrit. He grew old into the Khalsa. He wasn't a cumbersome old fuck arguing over how much he could steal from the Gurdwara Golak or the most mundane and trivial of unconcerning issues just to save his own ass. The point of the Khalsa was to live as the Gurus did and guide the Sikhs similarly as leaders and also role models. Sure, not every Sikh would receive Amrit. There was a strict process for administering Pahol and allowing entry into the Khalsa, but those who did were the leadership and also warrior material that the path of Guru Nanak requires. For context, Maharaja Koramal desired Khande ki Pahol, but the Panj Pyares judged him unworthy despite his sacrifices for the Guru Panth Khalsa. They discerned some shortcomings in his character and said no. Koramal accepted their judgment and started working on his own self, but died before he was eligible to ask for Pahol a second time. Who was Maharaja Koramal? He was the accountant turned warrior king who was so inspired by Guru Nanak and the Guru Panth Khalsa that he worked to turn Adina Beg and Mir Manu towards the Khalsa, even purchasing Sanatan Vedic Hindu Lakhpat Rai from Manu and handing him over to the Khalsa for a well deserved execution. Kora Mal was also responsible for offering money to the Khalsa for rebuilding the Darbar Sahib Sarovar and was well renowned as a Sahajatari Sikh. A Sahajatari is not a Mona like Dr. Harbans Lal of the USA has been arguing for most of his life. A Sahajatari is a Keshtari working towards Pohol, and this was what Koramal was before he was martyred while battling the Afghans, betrayed by Muslim and Sanatan Vedic Hindu subordinates and colleagues. Hari Om and Subhan Allah in one fucking go. The Dal Khalsa is the political and religious extension of the Guru Panth Khalsa, performed in Ardas for his ultimate peace, and administered Khande ki Pahol to initiate his deserving Sikh sons into the Khalsa. Koramal was a Sahajtari Sikh who had secretly converted to Sikhi after the Shahidi of Bhai Mani Singh Ji. And George Forrester and many other non Sikh, non Indian travelers in Punjab at the time would later confirm this because it was said by many of the descendants of the Mughals who were basically wiped out by Koramal that he was always secretly a Sikh. Even the Hindus hated him, probably more so than the Muslims, though now there's a whole bunch of Sikh boomer retards trying to claim that he was a Hindu in the name of Bhaichara, and because the Hindus have taken this myth on board, everyone's rear end is burning. So, the Dal Khalsa is the political and religious extension of the Guru Panth Khalsa performed in Ardas for his ultimate peace. So this was because Koramal was a Sahajtari Sikh. And here is the thing. The day Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked for the Panj Pyare to offer their heads for Sikhi, this event has been significantly misrepresented with each and every reading and each and every retelling. They were not Hindus or Muslims, as it is being made out today. They were Sikhs. They had already converted to Sikhi. Their parents had converted to Sikhi. Spiritually unclean non Sikhs and even our retards try straddling two boats. They actually argue, and this is funny, they actually argue that there was no way to convert to Sikhi before Guru Gobind Singh Ji, as if they're blaming the 10th Guru for wounding their oh so precious feelings. But on the other hand, they're also divided when they read in history that the Panj Pyares were already Sikhs. Dr. Rajkumar Hans, who guided the translation of the Shri Gur Katha of the contemporary Pai Jivan Singh Ji Shid or Pai Jeta Ji into English, actually provides 2 to 3 events before 1699 when the Khalsa was finally ratified, where Guru Gobind Singh Ji, after winning wars, demanded that his brave Sikh warriors offer their heads to him. 5 Sikhs stood up every time, and the Guru blessed them. These were 5 young warrior Sikhs. But this time around, as we know, he took them into a tent and emerged with a bloodied sword, and the rest is history. So, yes, only Sikhs were eligible and are eligible for Khande Ki Pahol. You need to be a Sikh first before you're allowed to seek entry into the Guru Panth Khalsa. Back then, you had to prove your Sikhi and your Gurmukh Avastha. Only then were you selected for initiation. Before Khande Ki Pahol, as Pai Gurdas testifies, the first step for a non Sikh to convert to Sikhi was to recite the Mool Mantar and then live Sikhi. Only when the Sangat of Gursikhs, among who were the Khalis, the initial Khalsa, with one among them also being a Masand, passed you off and authenticated your Gursikhi, were you given the Charnam Pohalamrit, where the Masand or the Guru himself touched a bowl of water with their feet and then initiated you into the Khalis, if you reached that stage. But no initiation was ever given to a non Sikh. This was never possible. But unfortunately, the way it has been redone, the whole exclusivity of Khande Ki Pahal has been made cheap and abused so aggressively and savagely that today we're giving Khande Ki Pahal to just about every other idiot who walks in demanding it. Think about it. If they had mandatory IQ tests for becoming Khalsa, you really think the likes of Master Tara Singh, Sant Fateh Singh, Prakar Singh, Badal, Joginder Singh, Vedanti, Iqbal Singh, Patna Sahib, Santa Sio Buddha Dal, Balbir Sio Buddha Dal, and Harnam Sio Tuma would have been initiated into the Khalsa? Guru Gobind Singh Ji set the bar high for initiation into the Khalsa for a reason. The Charan Pahal system worked well under a living Guru invested with supreme authority, but it was also visible from the start that Guruship would end. Bhai Gurdas lists his conversation in his Vars with Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, where the sixth Guru reveals to him that after 4 more Gurus, the human Guruship of sole singular authority would cease. 6 plus 4 is 10, just in case some of the more mathematically challenged are listening in on this. The Khalsa was always supposed to be a minority leading the Panth. This is why at the Sikh Renaissance we disagree with the notion that Khande Ki Pahal is a requirement for obtaining mukti. The Gursikh Rhet of the Guru Granth Sahib gives you Jivan Mukti, liberation when alive, or liberation while alive. But this Jivan Mukti can easily be lost. So, by living the Rhet of the Khalsa, by dedicating yourself to its high ideals and warrior spirit, you're basically cementing that Jivan Mukti and then inspiring others to do the same. Think about it. A minority Khalsa pool provided the candidates for continuing the Khalsa versus non Khalsa wars in Punjab in the immediate post Guru era. Baba Banda Singh Ji, Baba Baj Singh Ji, and Baba Fateh Singh Ji. After that, the minority Khalsa pool furnished Nawab Kapoor Singh Ji, Jathedar Sham Singh Ji, Jathedar Sukha Singh Mari Kambo. And after that, the 11 Khalsa missiles arose out of a minority Khalsa pool. Sikh villages would congregate and select the worthiest candidates for receiving Khande Ki Pahal. From among these recipients, based on factors like experience and skills, 5 would be selected to take over the essential functions of the village: food, security, communications, emergency procedures, and one youthful leader would be nominated as the overall leader of this village, and by default, the other 4. And he would be part of a collective of village level leaders from among who region level leaders would be selected, and so forth. So, from what we can see here, there is this trend that the Khalsa leadership was not entirely democratic, but neither entirely dictatorial. The Khalsa could vote at Sarbat Khalsas. The Khalsa could make decisions. The Khalsa as Guru Panth Khalsa only negotiated and conferred within itself, only occasionally dining to take advice from outsiders when and if necessary. But due to its character and beliefs, the non Khalsa could actually trust it to take the best decision for them. We see this during the Chota Kalukara. From the village level to the region level to the Panth level, No one questioned Nawab Kapoor Singh's leadership. Yes, the top leadership position, even among the Khalsa, is down to one person, but behind that Singh, there is a mass backing of the entire Khalsa in the Sikh world. It is not the democratic standard of the West today. To use a comparative example that will piss off the liberals, the Khalsa can be likened to Rhodesia. Once you get the majority making decisions or having the right to vote that can impact what decisions and policies you can make, you go to hell straight away. So far, we have covered why the Khalsa, how the Khalsa functions sociopolitically and religiopolitically, but let's take a look at one more element of the Khalsa. What is stopping members of the Khalsa from abusing the power that is invested with them politically? And I'm not talking about the current system with what the Badals are doing, but historically. Some might point to the example of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, but that is a different scenario altogether. We will cover that in upcoming episode. The Roman Senate, to put things into perspective, had a system where one senator was given dictatorial powers when Rome confronted any dire threat. Caesar refused to return this power, leading to the downfall of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. The Khalsa was different and had one inbuilt safety mechanism as well. The top tier of the Khalsa was dominated by the Kalis, the extreme orthodox fanatics. They wore the stars similar to Guru Gobind Singh Ji's, were warriors, but predominantly Granthis, Kirtanis, Kathavachaks, and had the sole prerogative of administering Khande ki Pahul until or unless they decided to share it with other, Khalsa leaders. The Akalis were the gatekeepers to Sikhi. They chose who could convert and also who could seek initiation into the Khalsa. They had a blemishless character and were fanatical in their devotion to Guru Nanak and the Guru Granth Sahib. This modern stupidity of, oh, but Sikhi does not have gatekeeping is just bullshit. Gatekeeping is essential and vital to control the authenticity and sanctity of your way of life before it becomes diluted. Take Christianity, for example. Despite being the world's biggest religion, we have Khosere dancing in their churches because they destroyed their gatekeeping mechanisms a long time ago. The Akalis also selected and confirmed the selection of the Rathiye, the Singhs who would be the rulers, the Misal Sardars, the Jathedars, the Misaldars, the Maharajas. They ratified their selection and slash or selected more worthy candidates from among the Guru Panth Khalsa. While the Akalis had their own reign in the form of Misal Shahid, more or less they were exclusively the warrior gatekeeping class rather than forming the exclusive ruling tier, and this is because of Ijjat. Every Panth in Dharam's Ijjat is important for its followers, and the Akalis were dedicated to maintaining the Ijjat of the Khalsa Panth and Sikhi. The second tier was that of the Rathiyas. These were the ruling Singhs, but their position was never permanent. It was dependent on their own prioritizing of Panthic interests as well as their own conformance to Sikhi. Only the Akalis and Rathiyas could call Sarbat Khalsas under specific circumstances. No one else. The last two tiers were those of the Milvartaniye, those Khalsas or non Khalsa Sikhs as well, who served under non Sikh powers but were in a position of influence, so they could prioritize Panthic interests by influencing those non Sikh powers. And finally, the Chakrels, those who served under non Sikhs but could not influence them. Obviously, the Hetnamas say not to seek employment under non Sikhs. Fair enough. But the modern translations, which this statement comes from, they take too many creative liberties. In reality, the Rahatnamas are saying not to tolerate the slavery of non Sikhs rather than honorable employment. Otherwise, why the hell would the Milvartaniyas and Chakrels even exist? You know, why would they? Wouldn't the Khalsa at the time, the Guru Panth Khalsa, be abusing the Rahatnama's injunctions of not seeking employment under non Sikhs? But there is a distinction between honorable employment and total destroy your Ijjat type slavery. So, what do we have so far? The Guru Panth Khalsa is an exclusive fraternity of Sikhs who undertake the challenge of making their very lives a reflection of the Guru Granth Sahib. The Guru Panth Khalsa is nothing without the Guru Granth Sahib. It is a body of warriors, fighters, rulers, And above all, Gursikhs dedicated to doing what? Yeah, what is the Khalsa's mission? To destroy the world, the false faiths, and all other dens of evil and rebuild it on Sikh lines. This is the Khalsa's mission. It is an army, Akal Purakh ki Fauj. Its very existence proves that Guru Nanak saw the military discipline, the warrior's discipline, as the highest calling a Sikh can have. His whole Asa Divar casts life as a war, and the Gursikh is one who wins this war. But winning this war doesn't mean you lift up your bum cheeks and fart or get a degree in the laws of nature if you're a missionary. Remember, the coal will always try to conceal the diamond within it. Similarly, this world of Manmat will always try killing the Khalsa. This is why the Khalsa needs that warrior discipline. This is why it's a forge. It fights back and kills the Manmuks, puts them in their place, to put it simply. But we killed this forge. We made Amrit too cheap. Now every other Tom, Dick, and Harry comes and is made Khalsa. In the past, we never had Khalsa as an exclusive title. Now we have so many cheap Khalsas running around that the Guru Panth Khalsa lies forgotten. And to distinguish a real Khalsa from the fake Khalsa, we have to add title Khalsa to the end of names rather than using the Guru's given titles of Singhs and Kaur. On the other hand, we have members or alleged members of this forge running around, cutting bananas and carrots with swords and using hammer drills on each other's heads, while the rest of the world has moved on to guns, automatic weapons, knife to knife combat, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, but we're still jumping around like kangaroos on a high and waving around our swords and spears, thinking that our energy wasting dances are going to work. Sure, the current crop of Nihangs can put their swords and guns to good use, but when was the last time you heard that a bunch of Nihangs took on a heavily armed modern fighting bunch of men and women? When Guru Gobind Singh Ji instituted Khande Ki Pahol, he also brought in a principle called the Nash Doctrine. Dharam Nash, annihilation of all past beliefs, misconceptions about righteousness, instead replaced with Sikh understandings of what Dharam, aka righteousness, is. Karam Nash, annihilation from committing vice. Janam Nash, annihilation of all past associations and relationships formed from birth, being reinterpreted through the Sikh purview. Sharam Nash, annihilation of all past societal stigmas. And Param Nash, annihilation of all past superstitions. So, this Nash doctrine is the final doctrine to accept before becoming a Khalsa. In a way, it is the final and last warning to the Sikh. Get ready or turn away. Once you undergo Nash, you're virtually giving your head to the Guru and nothing else matters. At the marg per darije, so dije karna kije. So no biological or social relationships are going to stop you. Only the Gurus and the Guru's path is important for you. But we have made even this into something pretty perverted. Take, for example, westernized Sikh men and women. Sukhi Kaur, without providing any evidence, goes on to Lovepreet Pabla's podcast claiming she is banned from Gurdwaras, the same Pabla who looks up to Playboy Krishna as his role model. Why? Why does Sukhi go onto his podcast? Because apparently, Sikh men questioning some of her more liberal views on feminism and its allowance of prostitution is somehow pushing Sikh girls to get groomed by Muslims. As usual, no word on Muslims and their religion that calls for the rape of non Muslim women. But guess what? Underneath Pabla's podcast with her, you will see a bunch of liberalized Sikh men self hating. This whole simping is incredible. From Akal Purakh ki Fauj full of warriors like Mata Pa, Korji and Pai Bota Singh Ji, we went to a mob of white knights and hoes, with the knights fighting to see who gets to simp the most for the hose, and the hose sleeping around in the name of Kudrat ke sab bande bolo Satnam Shri Waheguru. What's worse, since we lost the real Akalis, we have set up no real body to replace them to gatekeep either Sikhi or the Khalsa. So, what is the result? Along with tyrants like Badal, Gyani Zail Singh, Bhuta Singh, Home Minister, low IQ works like Harinder Singh, NKJ, and Tadri, we have the likes of Coach Nav doing Biadbi of Farabana. Coach Nav was a new age spiritualist smoking weed and banging it out on Instagram before she got so used up that she lost her looks. So she goes MIA for a while and then returns as an Amritari Bibi with the Damala and the whole getup. In the words of one listener, now that she has hit the wall and is used up, she has started cosplaying as a Nihangani. This is Beadbi of the Bana because she's still being a whore, just hiding it much more conveniently beyond the facade of religion. Following the predictable pattern of reformed behavior, these hoes target vulnerable Sikh men for marriage, hoping to add value to their tarnished image by donning religious clothing and attracting Sau Sardars. Sikhi needs to be saved from falling into the Christian hole and keep distance from the Christian standards of adopting repented and reformed whores as some ideals to live up to. So check out the comments underneath her social media. I mean, this comment I just read out is from one of her fans, but check out the comments underneath her social media, and you will see a bunch of Sikh men cucking out for the privilege of white knighting to Nav. The modern descendants of Khalsa warriors can't tell the difference between a whore seeking to mislead them and a virtuous woman. So, in the words of Pak, the Baniji from the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Jab tab sanjam chhod, sakrit mat ram naam na radhiye, उछलिया काम काल मत लागे तो आन सख्त गल बाधिए तरुण तेज पर त्रिया मुख जोहर सुर अपसार सार अपसार न पछाणिए उन्मत केम महाबिख भोले पाप पुन न पछाणिए. Having renounced devotional consistency and the path of virtue, you forgo deliberation upon the all-pervasive Akal Purakh's wisdom. With lust exploding within you, you lose sight of your impending death and embrace a multitude of women to satiate your lust. Blinded by the strength of your youthfulness, you stare at women all around you, unable to discern between the faithful ones and the seductresses. Drowning in lust, you eat filth, unable to recognize what is going to be ultimately beneficial and what is going to be ultimately detrimental for you. So this is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ang 93. We made Amrit cheap, we made the Khalsa forge a forge of degenerates, and then we dissociated Guru Nanak from it. Oh, but Guru Nanak was peaceful and Guru Gobind Singh only made the Khalsa as a response to some exigency. Oh, but it is not the Guru Panth Khalsa then, it's just a temporary forge. A retarded boomer has even written an article where he argues that even the Dal Khalsa name was a Brahmanical conspiracy. But what's more, there are ways to actually refute all this stupidity. The distinct identity that was given to the Sikhs by Guru Nanak always consisted of case. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji wasn't the first one to say keep case. It was actually Guru Nanak. Tere bank loin dant rasile sone nak jin lamre wala kanchan kiya sone ka dala sovan dala kirsan mala japo tusi saheliyo. Your eyes are beauteous and your teeth alluring, your nose is handsome and your hair unshorn, your skin is magnificent like gold, so my companions take up your rosaries to remember such a creator and none other. So this is on in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ang 567. For some reason, the Nirmala soy boys always try translating this to say that, oh, this is about Krishan because it mentions Krishan Mala. But in the vernacular of the time, what Guru Nanak is saying, use your Krishan Mala to actually contemplate upon a Vaheguru Akal Purakh who gave you your eyes, your teeth, your nose, and your case, and your skin. Forget about the playboy, focus on the formless Akal Purakh. And one thing to note is eyes, teeth, nose, skin. Yeah, you can't actually survive without these. So by adding case to this category, Guru Nanak has essentially made it that case is vital for human life. Now, even though we don't agree with all of their works, but this is where the older Akhand Kirtani Jatha under Bhai Randir Singh's guidance did great work. They traced the kakars to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Gur Gyan Kharg Hathtarya Jam Mariyar Jamkal. I have acquired the sword through the knowledge blessed by the divine wisdom of the Guru, and now I march to slay the demonic harbingers of death. Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ang 235. It is not Gyan Kharg as one term, but Gyan and Kharg, two separate terms indicating that the Gyan comes first and then the real Kharg or the sword. Satgur Purkh Agam hai, जिस अंदर हर उर धारिया सतगुरु ਨੂੰ ਅਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਸਕੇ जिस वाल सिरजनहारिया सतगुरु का खड़ग संजो हर भगति है जित काल कंटक मार वडारिया सतगुर का रखण हार हर आप है सतगुर के पीछे har sab ubariya. The Satguru, the physical manifestation of the divine truth, that is the 10 Sikh human gurus, and the Guru Panth Khalsa they have created eventually, is beyond the intelligence of mere mortals. Akal Purakh resides within the Satguru. No one equals the Satguru who has the mighty Akal Purakh in his corner. The Satguru's sword and armor are his means of devotion to Akal Purakh, because he uses his sword and armor to annihilate all the torturous fears of death and its harbingers. He uses them to get Sikhs to confront their fears and go and kill the Manmukhs. The Satguru's keeper is the creator, Akal Purakh. Akal Purakh is the one who has fashioned and given this mission to the Satguru. The Satguru's adherents, the Sikhs, are granted liberation by Akal Purakh when they follow the Satguru in thought and deed. So this is in Guru Granth Sahib, Ang 312. Now, Sanjo. Sanjo also refers to the Vini Shastra like Kara that act as both a shield as well as a Shastra of offense. So these are three kakars from the Guru Granth Sahib straight away, right? Kes, Kirpan, and Kara. Now, sure, the line Satgur ka kharg sanjo har bhakti hai jit kal kantak mar vadariya can be argued that it's saying that Sadguru's bhakti is his sword and armor, implying a metaphor. But then, following the rules of Gurbani grammar, bhakti would have come after Sadguru. Now, moving on. Jata pasam lepan kiya kaho gufa mein vas man jite jag jitiya jate pe khyata hoy udas. Right? This Shabad endorses the Kanga, that the Guru Panth Khalsa and the Sikh both are to have a civilized appearance rather than the jata, the matted and filthy look of a Sanatan Vedic sage or a flea shagging Sufi. Right? They're to live in civilization, and this is why the Kanga is important. We have four kakars, or the principle behind four kakars so far. So here is the fifth. Partan partara parhari take nekt base narhari. Those who stay away from others' wives and rights, Akal Purakh is found in their company. Ang 11, Ang 1163. So these are the five kakars, the foundational principles behind them from the Guru Granth Sahib. And to top it all off, the dastar. This is also a symbol of the Khalsa. We have Panch Shastras mentioned in ancient Hukamnamas, Panch Kapre, and so it was thought prudent to classify the kakars as Panch kakars as well because of the Kai, the Kaka by Baba Sumer Singh Ji of Patna Sahib. This was after he did an extensive study of all 18th and 19th century Hukamnamas, and Malhotra does agree with his assessment. The Kach, Kes, and Kirpan were the Tremudre, the three visible symbols of the Khalsa. The Kanga was for the maintenance of the case. Without the case, the Kanga was useless. The Kara was a Vini Shastra that accompanied the Kirpan. Without the Kirpan, it had its uses, but was not entirely practical. Put it like this: the Kirpan is a main weapon, and you don't take a knuckle duster to a war, you take a whole arsenal. So, this is why in ancient Rahatnamas, you see the Tre Mudre mentioned more prominently than the other remaining two Kakars. But when it comes to taking Khande ki Pohol, all of them are anonymous, that all five need to be on the block, each person. Now, could all of this be a massive Brahmanical interpolation? Pretty unlikely, unless you're Harjinder Dilgir. Then any fantasy is possible. The Afghan Sikhs read the Afghan Hukamnama of Guru Gobind Singh Ji before their ardas. Dr. Joginder Singh Tej Khurana writes in his history of Afghan Sikhs how after the Vada Kaluka Abdali relented and allowed the Sikhs the 5 Ks. We then have Nishan-e-Sikhi, the tradition of the Assamese and even South Indian Sikhs that have the 5 Ks. All of them are unanimous that Guru Gobind Singh Ji made these a permanent marker of the Khalsa. So no, these are not a Brahmanical conspiracy. But why? Why were they made the identity markers of the Khalsa? Dr. J.S. Garewal and Pashwara Singh, for all their shortcomings and past controversies, are closer to the truth here than many others. We have historical evidence that this was the military kit of the Sikh warrior from Guru Arjan onwards. They had case as a marker of their identity, given by Guru Nanak, who also instructed them to keep their case clean. Guru Nanak also gave his Khalis a kirpan. The Kara followed naturally, just as the Kanga followed the case. The Kachera came under the fifth Guru, and in this way, Guru Nanak's emphasis on the military tradition being the greatest among Sikhs found its expression in the Sikh warrior, and this same warrior was made the template for the Khalsa. And to top it all off, we of course have the Dastar. Kya kardar aurat yakina, rang tamase man hakina, napak pak kare hadur, Hadise sabat surat dastar sera. Let your deeds reflect your character, and make trust upon your own character like you trust your woman. Observe and remain buoyant as this world progresses on. Make them pure by remaining forever observant of Akal Purakh, and tie a handsome dastar atop your head to indicate your loyalty to Akal Purakh. Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ang 1084. So, in a way, we can say we have six, not five kakars. But well, saying this out aloud starts unnecessary debates. So, this is the story of the 12th Guru, the Sikh Guru that was to rebuild the world and guide the sanctity of the Guru Granth Sahib and Gurmat for all time. The 12th Sikh Guru that was to eradicate all the false religions and empower man to war against his fate. But this Guru was betrayed, backstabbed, and killed by the Sikhs themselves. So, what is the solution? We know the problem, so what is the solution? A strong band of Khalsa youth need to get together, upskill themselves, and actually live the warrior mind style of the Gurus, but with modern weaponry. They need to learn statecraft, underhanded tricks, manipulation, as well as live Gurbani. They need to avoid factionalism in the name of Rehet, Vichar, and whatever other retardation. And they need to work towards manipulating affairs in the Panth's interest, even if the Panth in its current state does not agree with them. They need to administer Khande ki Pahal to only a select few worthy individuals and start the whole Akali, Rathia Milvartani and Chakarel system from scratch. The Gurus built it, so even if it fell into disuse, it can be easily resurrected. As for legitimacy, authenticity, validity, yeah, might makes right, and at the end of the day, Sikh institutes have been so badly compromised, anyone wishing to do good will always be killed by our own people. Then, then these youth must create more leaders and confront the current Sikh institutions we have. If they fall in line, good. If not, get rid of them. Shut them down, push them into extinction. Might makes right. It's always the darkest before dawn, and Renaissance is a bloody business. A dark business, a savage business. Sikhs killed the 12th Guru, they martyred the Guru Panth Khalsa, but they can also resurrect it by their own hand. Don't hold any hope on the boomers either or the Kal Takht. They're all either too retarded or too dumb or too compromised. The hope is only on the current generation of Sikh youth. This all has to be done under cover because at the end of the day, the very people we are fighting for are the ones who have been so brainwashed they would sooner silence you than stand with you. But they're still our people, and it is for their future generations we must fight. So to reiterate, there is no point in having the Shabad Guru if you don't have the Panth Guru to show you how to live it. Guru Angad was given the Gurgaddi because he became a Swarup of Guru Nanak's Gurbani. Gurus were selected because they lived Gurbani, and that same responsibility has now been thrust onto the Guru Panth Khalsa. There is no point being like the Sampradaiks and just lavishly bowing to the Guru Granth Sahib and treating it like the Hindus treat their temple stones, or copying the missionaries and just saying, oh, but we need Vicharji, Vichar is the end all of everything, Vicharji, Vichar. Yeah, what comes after Vichar? Where is your Kardar? That Kardar is only seen in the Guru Panth Khalsa and nowhere else. So until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
सवैया दुत जिते इन्हीं के प्रसाद सुदान करे अक अवगटार इन्हीं के प्रसाद इन्हीं की कृपा पुण्य धाम भरे इन्हीं के प्रसाद सो विद्यालय इन्हीं की कृपा सब संत मरे नहीं की कृपा के सने हम हैं नहीं पोसो गरीब